The encounter. On a desolate moon, far from the prying eyes of the galaxy, a lone human soldier stood facing an alien commander. The barren landscape was punctuated by craters and jagged rocks, remnants of a once violent past. The human, Sergeant James Jim Cooper, had seen his share of battles, but this was different. This was personal. The alien commander, a towering creature with scales that shimmered in the dim light, sneered at Jim. "Your weapons are trash," it hissed, its voice dripping with contempt. "You humans are weak, relying on outdated technology and brute force." Jim tightened his grip on his rifle, a seemingly ordinary weapon by human standards. He had heard the taunts before, from enemies who underestimated humanity's ingenuity and resilience. He looked the alien square in the eye, his expression calm and unyielding. "Is that so?" Jim replied evenly. "Care to test that theory?" The alien's eyes gleamed with amusement. "Gladly, human. Let us see what your primitive weapon can do." Jim raised his rifle, taking a moment to steady his aim. He could feel the weight of the situation bearing down on him, the expectations of his people, the need to prove that humanity was not to be trifled with. He took a deep breath, focusing on his target. With a swift motion, he squeezed the trigger. The rifle hummed to life, unleashing a beam of energy that crackled through the air with a deafening roar. The alien sneer turned into a look of surprise as the beam struck it square in the chest, sending it sprawling backward. Jim lowered his rifle, his eyes never leaving the alien. "Not so primitive now, is it?" The alien struggled to its feet, its scales scorched and smoking. You cheated." It spat, fury and disbelief mingling in its voice. No human weapon should be capable of such power. Jim shook his head. No cheating involved, just good old human ingenuity. We adapt, we innovate, and we overcome. You underestimated us, and that's your mistake. The alien commander snarled, but there was a glint of respect in its eyes. "Perhaps you are not as weak as I thought, human, but this is far from over." The aftermath. Word of Jim's victory spread quickly. The other human soldiers, once wary of their chances against the technologically superior alien forces, found new resolve. They had a hero now, a symbol of humanity's unyielding spirit. Jim's name became a rallying cry, and his actions inspired countless others to stand their ground and fight. The alien forces, however, were not so easily deterred. Their commander, nursing its wounds and pride, began to strategize. It knew that brute force alone would not defeat these resilient humans. They would need to outthink them, to exploit their weaknesses. Weeks passed, and the battles raged on. Jim found himself at the forefront of many skirmishes, his reputation growing with each victory. He had become a symbol of hope, a beacon for his fellow soldiers. But he knew that the war was far from over. The aliens were relentless, and their commander was cunning. One night, as Jim sat by the campfire, cleaning his rifle, he was approached by Lieutenant Sarah Thompson, a brilliant tactician known for her sharp mind and unwavering determination. "Jim," she began, her voice soft but firm, "we need to talk." Jim looked up, meeting her gaze. "What's on your mind, Lieutenant?" Sarah sat down beside him, her expression serious. "The alien commander is planning something big. We've intercepted some communications, and it looks like they're preparing for a major offensive. We need to be ready." Jim nodded, his mind already racing with possibilities. "What do you suggest?" Sarah laid out a map, pointing to key locations. "They're going to hit us where we're weakest, try to break our lines and demoralize us. We need to anticipate their moves, strengthen our defenses, and if possible, take the fight to them." Jim studied the map, his determination hardening. "All right, let's show them what humans are made of." The offensive. The night before the anticipated attack, Jim and Sarah gathered their troops. The air was thick with tension, but there was also a sense of camaraderie and resolve. They knew what was at stake, and they were ready to give it their all. Jim stood before his soldiers, his voice strong and confident. "We've come a long way, and we've faced countless challenges, but we've always come out stronger. The aliens think they can break us, but they don't know who they're dealing with. We are humanity, and we will not be defeated." The soldiers cheered, their spirits lifted. They knew they were fighting for more than just survival. They were fighting for their future, for their loved ones, and for the very essence of what it meant to be human. As dawn broke, the alien forces launched their attack. The sky was filled with the sound of explosions and the smell of burning metal. Jim and his soldiers stood their ground, their weapons blazing. They fought with everything they had, their determination unwavering. The battle raged on for hours, each side giving no quarter. But Jim and his soldiers had something the aliens lacked, a fierce and unbreakable spirit. They fought with a tenacity that the aliens could not match, their will to survive and protect their own driving them forward. Finally, as the sun began to set, the alien forces began to retreat. They had underestimated the humans once again, and they had paid the price. Jim stood amidst the rubble, his body aching and his clothes stained with dirt and blood. But he stood tall, his heart filled with pride. "We did it," he said quietly, more to himself than anyone else. "We showed them what it means to be human." Sarah approached, a weary but triumphant smile on her face. "We couldn't have done it without you, Jim. You're a true hero." Jim shook his head. "I'm just one soldier, doing my part. It's all of us together that make the difference." The turning point. The victory was a turning point in the war. The alien forces, once confident in their superiority, began to falter. Their commander, humiliated and defeated, struggled to maintain control. The humans, on the other hand, found new strength and unity. They fought with renewed vigor, pushing back the alien invaders and reclaiming their territory. Jim continued to lead his troops with unwavering resolve. He knew that the war was not over, but he also knew that they had the upper hand. The humans had proven their worth, and they would continue to fight until they had secured their future. As the months passed, the battles grew fewer and farther between. The alien forces were on the run, their morale shattered. The humans, driven by their unbreakable spirit and the memory of those who had fallen, pressed on. One day, as Jim stood on a hill overlooking the battlefield, he felt a sense of peace. The war had taken its toll, but it had also shown the strength and resilience of humanity. They had faced insurmountable odds and had come out victorious. Sarah joined him, her expression thoughtful. "We've come a long way, Jim. We've shown the galaxy what it means to be human." Jim nodded, his gaze fixed on the horizon. "And we'll keep fighting, no matter what, because that's who we are. Humanity, with asterisk, 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 yeah." The legacy. Years passed, and the war became a distant memory. The humans had rebuilt, stronger and more united than ever before. Jim, now a revered leader and symbol of humanity's resilience, continued to inspire others with his story. He often spoke to new recruits, sharing his experiences and the lessons he had learned. "Never underestimate the power of the human spirit," he would say. "We are capable of incredible things when we stand together." The legacy of Jim and his soldiers lived on, a testament to the unyielding strength and determination of humanity. The galaxy had learned to respect and fear the humans, knowing that they would always rise to the challenge. And so the story of Sergeant James Jim Cooper and his unbreakable spirit became a legend, passed down through generations. It was a story of courage, unity, and the indomitable will of humanity. And it was a story that would never end. New Horizons. As humanity thrived, they began to explore beyond their war-torn territories, venturing into the unknown depths of space. They established new colonies, forged alliances with other species, and continued to innovate. The lessons learned from the war became the foundation for a new era of exploration and cooperation. Jim, now an elder statesman, watched with pride as humanity expanded its horizons. He had played a key role in securing their future, and now he dedicated his time to mentoring the next generation of leaders and explorers. One of his proteges, Captain Maria Sanchez, had just returned from a successful mission to a distant star system. "Welcome back, Captain," Jim greeted her with a warm smile as she disembarked from her ship. "Thank you, Jim," Maria replied, her eyes shining with excitement. The mission was a success. "We've made contact with a new species, the XL Naga, and they're interested in forming an alliance." Jim's eyes twinkled with interest. "Tell me more." Maria explained how the XL Naga, a highly advanced and peaceful species, had been observing humanity from afar. Impressed by their resilience and ingenuity, they saw great potential in a partnership. Jim listened intently, knowing that this alliance could open up new opportunities for humanity. "Let's arrange a meeting with their leaders," Jim said. "This could be the start of something incredible." The meeting with the XL Naga took place on a neutral planet, chosen for its serene beauty and tranquil environment. Jim, Maria, and a delegation of human representatives arrived, eager to learn more about their potential allies. The XL Naga were tall, graceful beings with an ethereal presence. Their leader, Elder Thalera, greeted Jim with a deep bow. "We have observed your kind, and we are impressed by your spirit and determination. We believe that together we can achieve great things." Jim returned the bow, his heart filled with hope. "We are honored by your words, Elder Thalera. We have much to learn from each other, and we look forward to building a future together." The discussions that followed were fruitful, laying the groundwork for a strong and mutually beneficial alliance. The XL Naga shared their advanced technology and knowledge, while the humans offered their unique perspective and unbreakable spirit. Together, they began to explore new frontiers, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The new frontier. The alliance between humanity and the XL Naga led to an unprecedented era of exploration and discovery. New star systems were charted, ancient mysteries were unraveled, and countless worlds were brought into the fold. Humanity's reputation as a force to be reckoned with continued to grow, and their influence spread throughout the galaxy. Jim, though older and grayer, remained a vital part of this new era. He traveled from colony to colony, sharing his wisdom and experience with those who would listen. His stories of bravery and resilience inspired countless individuals, reminding them of the indomitable human spirit. One day, as Jim stood on the observation deck of a newly established space station, he was joined by Maria. "It's amazing, isn't it?" she said, looking out at the stars. Jim nodded, a sense of fulfillment washing over him. "It is. We've come so far, and yet there's still so much to explore." Maria smiled. "And we couldn't have done it without you, Jim. Your legacy will live on for generations to come." Jim placed a hand on her shoulder, his eyes filled with pride. "It's all of us together that make the difference. Remember that, Captain. Humanity's strength lies in our unity and our willingness to face the unknown, the unseen threat." As humanity and their allies continued to expand, a new and unseen threat began to emerge from the fringes of the galaxy. Whispers of a shadowy force, known only as the Void, reached the ears of Jim and his allies. Reports of disappearing colonies and strange, otherworldly phenomena spread, causing a ripple of unease. Jim knew that this new threat required a united front. He called for a council of the galaxy's greatest minds, bringing together leaders from humanity, the XL Naga, and other allied species. The council convened on the central planet of the Alliance, a bustling hub of activity and innovation. Elder Thalra addressed the council, his voice grave. The void is unlike anything we have faced before. It consumes everything in its path, leaving nothing behind. We must combine our strengths and resources to combat this threat. Jim stood, his presence commanding attention. We have faced insurmountable odds before, and we have always prevailed. This will be no different. We will stand together, fight together, and overcome this new enemy. The council members nodded in agreement, their resolve firm. Plans were made, strategies devised, and a united fleet was assembled. Jim, despite his age, insisted on joining the front lines. He knew that his presence would inspire the troops and remind them of the strength they possessed. The battle against the void. The united fleet, a magnificent armada of ships from every corner of the galaxy, set out to face the void. The enemy was elusive, its nature mysterious and terrifying. But the Alliance was determined, driven by the hope and courage that had carried them through countless battles. The first encounter with the void was harrowing. The dark, swirling mass of energy seemed to defy the laws of physics, consuming everything in its path. The fleet fought valiantly, their weapons blazing, but the void was relentless. Jim, aboard the flagship, directed the battle with calm precision. Focus your fire on the central mass. He commanded, his voice steady. We need to find its weakness. The ships followed his orders, their combined firepower creating a dazzling display of light and energy. Slowly but surely, they began to push the void back, their determination unwavering. As the battle raged on, Jim realized that they needed more than just firepower. They needed to understand the nature of the void, to find a way to disrupt its core. He called for Maria, who had become an expert in alien technologies and phenomena. Maria, we need to figure out what makes the void tick, Jim said urgently. I have a feeling that there's more to this than we realize. Maria nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. I'll analyze the data we've collected so far. There has to be a way to counteract its effects. The breakthrough. Hours turned into days as the battle against the void continued. The Alliance's forces held their ground, but the strain was beginning to show. Morale wavered and doubts crept in. But Jim's presence and unwavering resolve kept them going. Finally, Maria had a breakthrough. Jim, I think I've found something, she said, her voice filled with excitement. The void seems to be driven by a central energy source, a kind of core. If we can disrupt that core, we might be able to neutralize it. Jim's eyes lit up with hope. That's our target, then. Let's take it down. With renewed determination, the fleet focused their efforts on the core of the void. The battle intensified, the ships moving with precision and coordination. Jim led the charge, his voice a beacon of strength and courage. As they closed in on the core, the void's resistance grew fiercer. But the Alliance was relentless, their combined firepower hammering away at the enemy. Finally, with a final devastating volley, they struck the core, causing it to implode in a brilliant burst of light. The void began to collapse, its dark tendrils retreating and dissipating into nothingness. The battle was won, and the galaxy was safe once more. The dawn of a new era. The victory against the void marked the beginning of a new era for humanity and their allies. The bonds forged in battle grew stronger, and the Alliance flourished. Jim, hailed as a hero once again, continued to inspire and guide the next generation. He knew that there would always be new challenges, new threats to face. But he also knew that as long as humanity stood together, they could overcome anything. His story, and the stories of those who had fought alongside him, became a testament to the unbreakable spirit of humanity. As he looked out at the stars, Jim felt a sense of peace and fulfillment. The galaxy was vast and full of possibilities, and humanity was ready to face whatever came their way. And so, the story of Surgeon James Jim Cooper and his unyielding spirit continued, a never-ending tale of courage, unity, and the indomitable will of humanity. The end was nowhere in sight, for the journey of exploration, discovery, and triumph would go on forever. The unknown awaits. Years had passed since the battle against the void, and the galaxy was in a golden age of peace and prosperity. The Alliance continued to grow, with new species joining and contributing to the collective knowledge and strength. Jim, now a respected elder and living legend, found joy in seeing the galaxy thrive. One day, as Jim was teaching a group of young cadets about the history of their struggles and triumphs, an urgent message came through from the Central Command. It was Maria, now Admiral Sanchez, with a look of concern on her face. "Jim, we need you at the Council. We've detected an anomaly at the edge of the galaxy," she said, her voice steady but serious. Jim's eyes narrowed. "I'll be there immediately." The anomaly. At the council meeting, Jim, Maria, Elder Thalera, and other leaders examined the data. The anomaly was unlike anything they had seen before, a massive, swirling vortex of energy and matter, pulsating with an eerie light. This could be a natural phenomenon, or it could be something else entirely, Maria explained. "We need to investigate, but we must proceed with caution." Jim nodded. "I'll lead the expedition. We need to understand what we're dealing with before it poses a threat." The expedition. The expedition fleet, comprised of ships from various allied species, set course for the anomaly. Jim, aboard the flagship Endeavour, felt a familiar sense of anticipation. Despite his age, his spirit remained as strong as ever. As they approached the anomaly, the fleet's instruments went haywire. The energy readings were off the charts, and strange fluctuations disrupted their communications. Jim ordered the fleet to maintain formation and prepare for anything. "Admiral Sanchez, keep an eye on those readings. We need to find a way to stabilize our instruments," Jim commanded. "Understood, Jim." "We're working on it," Maria replied, her team of scientists and engineers scrambling to make sense of the data. The discovery. As they entered the heart of the anomaly, the fleet was engulfed in a brilliant light. When the light faded, they found themselves in a vast, uncharted region of space, teeming with unfamiliar stars and planets. Jim's eyes widened in awe. This is incredible. We've discovered a whole new part of the galaxy." Maria's voice crackled over the comms. "Jim, we've picked up signals from multiple sources. It looks like there are civilizations here. This could be the greatest discovery in our history." Jim nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and caution. "Let's make contact, but stay alert. We don't know what we're dealing with yet." First contact. The fleet soon encountered a massive space station orbiting a vibrant, Earth-like planet. The station was of an unknown design, sleek and advanced. As they approached, a message came through in a strange but decipherable language. "Welcome, travelers. We are the Celestians, and we have been expecting you." Jim exchanged a glance with Maria. "Put them through." The image of a Celestian leader appeared on the screen, a tall, luminous being with an aura of wisdom and serenity. "I am High Seer Eris. We have long awaited the arrival of your kind. Please come to our station. We have much to discuss." Jim's heart raced with anticipation. "We're on our way." The Celestians. Upon arriving at the Celestian station, Jim and his team were greeted with open arms. The Celestians were a highly advanced and benevolent species, possessing knowledge and technology far beyond anything the Alliance had encountered. High Seer Eris led them to a grand chamber, adorned with intricate designs and shimmering crystals. "We have watched your progress for many years," Eris explained. "Your resilience and spirit have impressed us. There is much we can learn from each other." Jim felt a deep sense of respect for the Celestians. "We're honored to be here, High Seer Eris. We come in peace and with the hope of building a lasting friendship." Eris nodded. "As do we. But there is a reason we have awaited your arrival. There is a great threat looming in this region of space, a darkness that could consume us all. We must unite to face it." The rising darkness. The Celestians revealed that they had been battling an ancient and malevolent force known as the Umbra. The Umbra was a shadowy entity that sought to engulf all light and life, spreading fear and chaos. Eris led Jim and his team to a vast observatory, where a holographic display showed the spread of the Umbra. "This darkness has been growing for millennia. We have contained it so far, but it is only a matter of time before it breaks free." Jim's expression hardened with determination. "We faced darkness before and emerged victorious. We will stand with you against the Umbra." Maria stepped forward. "Our alliance is strong, and together with your knowledge and technology, we can find a way to defeat this threat." Preparing for battle. The united forces of the Alliance and the Celestians began preparations for the impending battle. Scientists, engineers, and strategists from both sides worked tirelessly to develop new technologies and strategies to combat the Umbra. Jim and Eris spent many hours discussing tactics and sharing their respective experiences. Jim found a kindred spirit in Eris, both leaders bound by a deep sense of duty and hope. "We must strike at the heart of the Umbra," Eris said during one of their strategy sessions. "It is a formidable enemy, but not invincible." Jim nodded. "Agreed. We'll need to combine our strengths and hit them with everything we've got." The final stand. The day of the battle arrived, and the combined fleet set out to face the Umbra. The tension was palpable, but so was the determination. Jim stood on the bridge of the Endeavor, looking out at the vast expanse of space. "All ships, this is it," Jim announced over the comms. "Today, we face a great darkness, but we do so together. Remember our strength, our unity, and our spirit. We will prevail." As they approached the Umbra's territory, the darkness seemed to come alive, swirling and pulsing with malevolent energy. The battle was fierce, the Umbra's forces attacking with relentless fury. But the Alliance and the Celestians fought back with equal ferocity, their combined might creating a beacon of hope amidst the darkness. The light of hope. The battle raged on, each side giving and taking in a desperate struggle. Jim and Maria led their forces with unwavering resolve, their courage inspiring all those around them. The Celestians' advanced technology, combined with the Alliance's innovative tactics, began to turn the tide. In a decisive moment, Jim led a daring assault on the Umbra's core. With the Endeavor at the forefront, they pierced through the darkness, their weapons blazing. The combined power of their attack struck the core, causing it to shudder and crack. The Umbra's forces faltered, their dark energy dissipating. Jim's voice rang out over the comms. "Keep pushing. We can do this." With a final, concerted effort, the united forces unleashed a devastating barrage, shattering the core and sending a wave of light through the darkness. The Umbra's shadowy form began to disintegrate, its malevolent presence vanishing into the void. A new dawn. As the light of victory spread across the battlefield, the Alliance and the Celestians cheered in triumph. The Umbra had been defeated, and a new dawn had begun. Jim, exhausted but elated, stood on the bridge of the Endeavor, looking out at the stars. "We did it," he said quietly, a sense of peace washing over him. Maria joined him, her smile radiant. "We did it together, Jim. Humanity and our allies united against the darkness." High Seer Eris's image appeared on the screen. "Your bravery and spirit have saved us all. We are forever in your debt." Jim shook his head. "We all fought for this victory, Eris. This is a new beginning for all of us." The journey continues. With the defeat of the Umbra, the galaxy entered a new era of exploration and cooperation. The Alliance and the Celestians forged a deep bond, their shared experiences and victories creating a lasting friendship. Jim, now a revered figure throughout the galaxy, continued to inspire and guide others. He knew that the journey was far from over, that there would always be new challenges and adventures on the horizon. As he stood on the observation deck of the Endeavor, looking out at the endless expanse of space, he felt a sense of fulfillment and anticipation. The story of humanity, of courage and unity, would continue to unfold, forever reaching for the stars. And so, the legend of Sergeant James "Jim" Cooper and his unbreakable spirit lived on, an endless tale of hope, resilience, and the indomitable will of humanity. The journey was far from over, and the possibilities were limitless. Humanity, forever reaching for the stars, would continue to explore, discover, and triumph. Humanity, F******, yeah.